London, Whitechapel, 1888, 31st of August, 3:45 a.m. Charles Cross is walking down the road when he sees a woman lying down on the ground. He rushes over to find she has no pulse. Robert Paul comes to his side and notices a gash in her throat and a slice in her abdomen. They run off to find a police officer. By the time people started getting up for work, the body was removed, and so was all of the blood, along with all potential evidence. At the morgue, they discovered that the slit went to her spine, and she was disemboweled. They also noticed that the cuts were precise and not done in a hurry, leading to the belief that it could have been done by a barber, a doctor, or a dentist. The victim was the prostitute Mary Ann Nichols. They put their top inspector on the case, Frederick Aberline. At the 8th of September, another prostitute's body was discovered. This was Annie Chapman. She had a similar body to Mary, yet her intestines were wrapped around her neck, and she was missing her uterus. The cuts on Annie's body were more ferocious than Mary's. Many fake letters were sent to the Metropolitan Police, but one caught their attention, which had been picked up and sent to them. It stated the following: "Dear Boss, I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I have laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. That joke about Leather Apron gave me real fits. I'm down on whores and can't shan't quit ripping till I do get buckled. Grand work the last job was. Gave the lady no time to squeal. How can they catch me now? I love my work and want to start again. You will soon hear of me with my funny little games. I saved some of the proper red stuff in a ginger beer bottle over the last job to write with, but it went thick like glue and I can't use it. Red ink is fit enough. I hope. Haha. The next job I do, I shall clip the lady's ears off and send to the police officers with a jolly, wouldn't you? Keep this letter back till I do a bit more work. Then give it out straight. My knife's so nice and sharp, I want to get the work right away if I get the chance. Good luck. Yours truly, Jack the Ripper. Don't mind giving the trade name. P.S. Wasn't good enough to post this before I got all the red ink off my hands, curse it. No luck yet, the same, I'm a doctor now. Haha. This was considered the only one to be a genuine letter from the murderer. The name at the bottom of this letter rung throughout the world as one of the most infamous serial killers besides Ted Bundy and the Zodiac Killer, which is a topic for another episode. 2 more killings were found hours apart. The first, Elizabeth Stride, was discovered at 1 a.m. on the 30th of September. The cause of death were 2 cuts going through her trachea and a carotid artery. The fact that there were no further signs of assault makes it debatable if this was committed by the murderer. Catherine Eddowes' body was discovered 3/4 of an hour after Stride's body. Her throat was severed, like all the victims, and her stomach was ripped open, and her intestines were wrapped around her shoulder. Her left kidney was missing, and so was a major part of her uterus. Her face was mutilated almost beyond recognition. All the mutilations upon her person could have taken at least 5 minutes. They noticed there had been a slight incision in her earlobe, and soon after there was another letter from the murderer that was intercepted by the police. It read the following: I was not codding, dear old boss, when I gave you the tip. You'll hear about Saucy Jackie's work tomorrow, double event this time. Number 1, squealed a little bit, couldn't finish straight off. Had not got time to get ears off for police. Thanks for keeping last letter till I got to work again. Another letter was sent directly to the force. This had poor handwriting and spelt poorly, as though it was designed to send the cops off the trail by making them think an uneducated man did the killings. It read exactly as follows: From hell, Mr. Lusk. I sent you half the kidney, K-I-D-N-E, I took from one woman and preserved it for you t'other piece. I fried and ate it. Was very nice. I may send you the bloody knife that I took it out, and only wait, W-A-T-E, a while longer. Signed, catch you when you can, Mr. Lusk. with it accompanied half a kidney which matched Edo's missing one. The police soon discovered graffiti on the side of a building. It said, "The Jews, Juwes, are the men that will not be blamed for nothing." It was removed immediately by Commissioner Charles Warren. Soon the final body of Mary Jane Kelly was discovered at 10:45 on the 9th of November. She had an incision in her throat down to her spine. Her abdomen was almost emptied of organs, with her uterus, kidneys, and one breast placed under her head. Other parts of her body were dotted around the bed. Her heart was missing. This is believed to be Jack's final murder, for it was like his piece de resistance. There were some before and some after, but these are believed to be the canonical 5 murders. In this part, I'll be discussing the suspects of the killings, mainly going over the main ones, because if I covered all of them in this one video, it would be almost an hour long. Here's a brief rundown of the suspects. Montague John Druitt. He could have done it for he committed suicide by drowning in the River Thames a month after the killings stopped. He was in Dorset playing cricket a day after the first death. It was 6 days by horse to get from Whitechapel to Dorset. Sir Wayne Kozlowski, aka George Chapman, not brother of Annie Chapman. He moved to the UK from Poland between 1887 and 1888, shortly before the killings. He was a barber, so knew his way around the body, since back then barbers also worked as surgeons. He was tried and executed for the murder of his 3 wives with poison. It is uncommon, but not unheard of, for a serial killer to change his style. Sir William Gull was the personal physician to Queen Victoria, so once again he knew his way around a body. He died in 1890, and the theory was adapted by Alan Moore's graphic novel and then by From Hell, which is based off the graphic novel. Gull had bigger fish to fry than 5 prostitutes in Whitechapel. He was the Queen's physician after all. Jonathan Pizer was a Polish Jew who was attacked after the second murder, for being known as Leather Apron, and a piece of leather apron being discovered on the scene. Yet he was a shoemaker, so wouldn't know the ins and outs of a human corpse. Francis Tumblety was originally arrested for allegations of Abraham Lincoln's assassination. He was arrested on 7th of November 1888 for engaging in homosexual acts. He moved out to the UK shortly after the murders at Whitechapel. The final murder happened 2 days after he was apprehended. For 132 years, this case has been unsolved. Due to a DNA test in 2019, a man named Aaron Kosminski's DNA has been found on the shore belonging to the 4th victim. He was a regular in and out of insane asylums. A problem with his DNA analysis is that he doesn't seem like a skilled surgeon, and the victim was a prostitute, so for him to hire her out for a night and do her could have happened. Now let's look at the evidence. The man or woman was a skilled surgeon. Had to be in London from August 1882 to November 1888. Had to have access to surgical or sharp objects. Let's go through our suspects. Montague John Druitt wasn't a skilled surgeon, and his body was found in December, not seen jumping in December. Aaron Kosminski, again, doesn't seem like a skilled surgeon. Only evidence against him was the shore. Michael Osterloh was a thief and didn't seem like a killer. Once again, doesn't seem like a skilled surgeon. Jonathan Pizer was a shoemaker and didn't know a body's ins and outs. James Thomas Sadler was at sea for the first 4 murders. Francis Tumblety posed as a doctor, but an Indian herb doctor, not a surgeon. H.H. Jones was already a serial killer, but he killed for money, not for fun, which seemed to be the reason behind Jack's killings. Sir William Gull was skilled, but had no reason to kill 5 random prostitutes. He was Queen Victoria's family physician after all. Lewis Carroll definitely wasn't the killer, but if I didn't bring it up, it would have been brought up in the comments. Carroll soon wrote a book after the murders, Jack the Ripper, A Light-Hearted Friend. Sir Owen Kozlowski is where it gets interesting. He was a barber, and some barbers worked as surgeons as well. Look no further than the Victorian urban legend Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. The story goes like this. A man walks into a barber shop, looking for a shave for his beard. It was Sweeney Todd's Barbers next to a local pie shop. He heads inside and sees Sweeney inside. "Just a shave, please, Sweeney," says the man. "Understood," responded Sweeney. The man sits down on the chair and looks in the mirror. Sweeney picks up his razor and his eyes glint in the sunlight. He takes his razor and slashes the man's throat. Blood splatters the wall and the mirror. Sweeney pulls a lever and the chair leans back and a trapdoor opens. The man falls down the hole and his neck snaps. If he wasn't dead, he was dead now. He calls the pie shop next door and whispers down the speaker. There's a new special for you downstairs. A plump lady appears at the bottom of the trapdoor. Is this it? Yes, my dear. Thank you. She drags the body away as Sweeney starts to clean up the wall, ready for his next victim, the next pie. Chilling stuff. This could have been Selwyn's fictional counterpart. He also arrived in London before the Whitechapel murders, sometime between 1887 and 1888. He would also have access to a sharp object, a razor perhaps. You might remember the fact I said he was tried and executed for murdering three of his wives with poison, and that's a key point of evidence. He changed his style to throw the police off the trail that he was the Ripper. Overall, I believe Selwyn was Jack the Ripper and murdered those prostitutes in Whitechapel. Thanks for watching. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Ring the notifications so you don't miss my next deep dive into Histories and Mysteries and my investigation into the 1960s and 1970s with its infamous serial killer, the Zodiac Killer.